So, a couple people's been asking about the plane. This is my plane. It is a Piper Cherokee 140 with the 160 upgrade. So, this is what you'll pretty much be seeing when you find most of the videos that you'll see. In which the Cherokee 140s are usually deemed as a trainer plane, used a lot to get your private pilot's license in. Also, if they're equipped right, also used for instrument training, can be used for instrument training. Don't mind the hangar, just got here to this hangar, so it's a little bit junky until I get everything organized, but this is my plane. Like I said, Piper Cherokee 140. This is a 1977, in which this was the last year that they made the Cherokee Cruiser, and also the last year of the actual 140. Like I said, my 140 has the 160 Ram upgrade, as you can see. Like I said, don't mind the hangar. I know it's a little junky. So let's take a look on the inside, see a couple of the things. Like I said, just got over here, so there'll be a couple things that stowed in the plane. So basically, when I got it, the seats were probably changed out 6 years before me purchasing it, but a little interior view of some things. Those are some covers that I got. The tow hitch, the tow bars back there. So the way that this plane is equipped, of course, here's your yoke for the ailerons. And then also down here, which this still has the Johnson bar, which is the manual flaps. So when you pull that, so this is gonna be 40 degrees of flaps, 25, and then 10. I like the manual flaps instead of the electric flaps, because if you have an electrical failure, you still get control of the flaps. Now on my plane, here is it's the intercom system for the PS Engineering 1000. I have heat, defrost, don't have any air or anything like that. Some planes do have air conditioning, but mine's don't. This is the number 2 comm, which is a Narco 120. The transponder I got, which allows you to for ATC to find you and things like that. It's a Benix King KT76C, which has a digital display. For GPS, I have the Benix King KLN89B GPS. I have a DME, which is the Benix King KN64. My number 1 comm and nav is going to be a Benix King KX155. And then for my audio panel, it is the Benix King KA134. Now it also has the marker beacons for, doing approaches, and have a Benix King KI209. Also, but this is in op, and it has the Narco 11, I think that is, VORs. Just to go over some of the instruments, this is going to be the altimeter, which you also tune in your elevation or pressure depending upon your field. Vertical speed indicator, which this, how it tells you how many feet per minute you're going up or going down, which is 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. This is going to be a directional gyro, which corresponds with the compass, which tell you your heading. This is going to be your attitude, indicator, which, you know, tells you if your plane's level or not. And then when you're turning and banking, you know how many degrees that you're turning and banking. This is going to be the airspeed indicator. Now, some are done in knots and some are in miles per hour. On this one, it is in knots as far as the speed, as far as how fast you're traveling. And then below that is a turn coordinator with the ball, which slip skid, shows you that. Have a clock, and then my engine monitor, which the engine monitor, it measures RPMs, fuel flow, oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel pressure, volts, and things like that. Also records takt time, engine time, things like that. Does have a somewhat of an autopilot, more so like a wing leveler that can track a heading, which I do have that. Down there is going to be my Hobbs meter, telling me how many hours for its motor. This is the USB hooked up to the engine monitor, so when you need to get data from that. My tachometer, prime. This is the throttle quadrant. This is gets your speed. This is your mixture, how much air and gas gets into the carburetor. Carb heat, amps, and then my breaker box. So this is a basic. I got a couple lights up here. That's gonna be a mount for one of the GoPros. Over here, this thing is a lifesaver in the summer. So basically, this is a cool scoop. So you'll open this little window right here, stick this out while you're on the ground, sitting on the ramp. So while the motor is running, the air from the propeller is pushing back this way. This directs the air in to help cool you off. Now, there are also vents down here, which like right there, to let, when you're up in the air, there's some air vents on the wings that allow air to flow through and come up to get you. But like I said, on the ground, this thing right here is a lifesaver. It is amazing. Just not too long ago, got the sun visors installed, shoulder harnesses. Back there's your POH, which you pilot, plane operating handbook, pilot's operating handbook. You got to have that in your plane for it to be legal, so that has to stay in here. And then also your airworthiness certificate and your registration from the FAA. So, like I said, a couple covers. This goes over the tail to keep birds and things from getting in through the tail cone. These go up front in the engine to keep things from flying through into the engine. Seats, as you see, I mean, it's not huge on the inside when you talk about airplanes, when it comes to airplanes, but it's a small airplane. Then over here, I have checklists and stuff like that, essentials to keep me informed on things. Checklists are important when flying. Very, very important to have your checklists. These things will help you get through a lot. So I have one over there, and I keep one over here as well. And then just have a lot of little reminders, like, the transponder codes when, you get into a situation, quadruple zero, which you never use, that's military. VFR is the common squawk code for transponders. That's when you're just, doing your visual flights. Just say if I was to lose my communications, 7600, or if, emergencies happening, I will tune this thing right here, my transponder, into 7700, if I was to have an emergency or something like that. Like I said, I keep little reminders, like, the alphabet, and a couple other things around here. My maneuvering speed on here is, 114 knots. Demonstrated crosswind component that's, was tested when the plane was first come off the assembly, 17 knots. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much my panel. Go ahead and turn it on for a second so you can see. So when you hit the master, everything starts lighting up. So Like I said, you'll see the digital display on the transponder, my radios, my nav, my com and nav one, my DME. Like I said, the Bendix King GPS, and then the instruments over here. Like I said, this is my electronic international engine monitor, which, you know, that's the basic screens that I get on there. And this is pretty much, usually leave the anti-collision light on, let me know that's how the power's on. Turn the master off first, and then the battery switch. And yes, this is basically the plane that I'm flying. So this is November 3480 Quebec. Now I will say, like I said, this is the plane that I have started in, but this has been a wonderful plane. Like I explained, this is the plane that I got when I first started, when I bought in Kansas that I showed you. The plane that I've soloed in several times with several different instructors. But this, it's bittersweet because I'm in the process of selling this one right now to get a different one, which once I acquire that one, I'll give you a walkthrough of that plane as well. It is going to be a Piper Arrow, a 72 Piper Arrow, which is November 6 Juliet. And plan to have just as much fun and some adventures, and hopefully, you know, finish obtaining my private pilot license in that one, and then start doing some cross countries, and then working on my instrument. So any questions, you know, hit me up in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, what you think. Any questions about the plane or planes in general that I might be able to answer, you know. Never know. I'm not saying that I know a lot, but, you know, in the process of this, I mean, I've learned a few things. The buying process, you know, looking for planes, the market, insurance. Insurance is crazy right now. But, you know, please like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel, especially if you like what you see and what you hear, because it's only going to get greater. And I'll see y'all soon. If you're into travel, credit cards, and things of that nature, make sure you hit up my buddy's page, Luke's Points and Miles. Link is in the description. Man, he is a wizard with the credit cards and how to get points, travel, and things like that. So, you know, if you get a moment, check out his page and see what good he got going on over there.